Welcome to another video. Today we're going to take a black and white photo walk with the Nikon Z6 Mark III and the Nikon 28mm f2.8 plastic fantastic lens. Black and white can work extremely well on a day like this. I mean, look at the light. Everything is just flat and everything looks almost gray as it is. So it would be a struggle to come up with some awesome color pictures. I'm gonna start off here and take a close-up of this piece of schloss on the street. f5.6, 30th of a second. And look at this. Even this mundane scene looks so great in grayscale. Look at that tonality, look at those shades of gray. Awesome. We have some lights inside that yellow structure. I'm gonna see how it works in grayscale. Okay, nothing that super special, but I still like the tonality in this one a lot. I shoot raw as always, but I selected the black and white picture style on my Nikon. And when I import these pictures into Lightroom, they will show up as black and white. And I'm not going to even look at these pictures in color because I'm in black and white mode today. So my mindset and my process is similar to shooting black and white film, and that's how I like it when I'm in black and white mode. I'm simply loving these shades of gray today, and it's probably because it's been a long time since I took a dedicated black and white photo walk. These pipes look awesome, and I'm sure they're gonna look great in black and white. And yes, indeed, I have a feeling that this is gonna be one of the keepers of today. Awesome picture, I love this. I'm in manual mode with auto ISO, so I can control my aperture and shutter speed the way I like according to the situation, but the auto ISO takes care of the final exposure. Let's try these smaller pipes. I think the light color tonality of the pipes will stand out nicely against the darker shades in the scene, and I think it works. I can see some more pipes over there, and they are simply crying out for another black and white shot. So let's do it, and then I promise you I'm done with these pipes and I'll find something else for my next subject. I'm using f2.8 here to minimize the depth of field, but as you can see, there's still plenty of depth of field in the final shot. But you simply have to love these shades of gray in this one too. Some of you might be wondering if I ditched all my other cameras, my Sony, my Panasonic, my Ricoh and all other cameras for this Nikon, but the answer is no. I'm simply using this camera because it's relatively new to me, and I like to familiarize myself with this camera so it wouldn't get in the way and distract my photographic process. On the left is a defunct coal power plant, but those smokestacks look so photogenic when they are reaching out into the clouds. Definitely worth a shot. Okay, what else is here? I haven't been in this area since last summer for about 6 months or so. How about these two round buildings? I like the mirror-like setup here, a light-colored building against a dark-colored building, and the doors on the right and whatever the structure is on the left, they sort of mirror each other's too. The door in the background also complements the scene, I think, and I like this one. This is going so well today. This pile of snow against the building definitely conveys today's weather so well, so let's give it a shot. f8, 30th of a second. Auto ISO seems to go for ISO 500, and yes, this definitely is the mood of the day. This looks like a smoking area for the summer, and it looks so sad in the winter, but I guess smoking areas always look kinda sad because smoking is not good for you. Anyway, this picture delivers the sad mood of the location quite nicely, I think. And one more shot of the smokestack because it simply looks so awesome sticking out into the clouds. Now what is that? I can see a Porsche parked inside there. That looks weird and it's definitely worth a shot. In this one I had to go for manual focus because the autofocus simply would not focus through the metal mesh. I like the soft curvy shapes of the automobile against all these hard angular shapes in the scene. Another pleasing picture. This scene is a mixture of everything: graffiti, curvy shapes, angular shapes, smokestacks, and everything. I'm gonna give it a shot, and I kinda like this one. Nothing super special, but still I like it. There's clearly no winter maintenance on this pedestrian overpass. Hey, that human being might look good walking towards the overpass. Okay, I wouldn't say this is awesome, but it's not too bad either. The building on the left looks promising. I think those faded red colors will probably translate nicely into black and white. Now let me double check. F8, 30th of a second, and the auto ISO says 800. And indeed, I like the tonality in this picture, and there's even a human being there, so not bad. It's always a good idea to occasionally turn around and see what is behind you. I think this metro entrance exit is worth at least one black and white picture today. I'm going to select F8, 1/30th of a second. Auto ISO says 640, and the result is quite fine, but nothing spectacular. I'm jaywalking towards that other metro entrance exit because I suspect there might be some really nice reflections in those windows. And I was right. The old market hall reflection looks pretty neat against those metro stairs and escalators. In this first one, I really like how the people are in the shot, but I like the composition in the second picture much better than in the first one. The light level is dropping already, even though it's only afternoon, but this is the darkest time of the year. I'm standing here waiting for the green light, and all of a sudden I realize that the puddle in front of me might be worth a picture. F5.6, 40th of a second, auto ISO says 2200. And again, I love those shades of grey and the tonal range in this one, even though it's nothing that special. At least once Helsinki manages to look like a semi-busy city. Let's try some handheld long exposure shots here because we have so many people coming and going all over the place. 1/5 of a second probably works because I don't want to blur everything into oblivion. I like the combination of motion blur and sharpness in this one. Let's move closer for another shot. 1/5 of a second again. I really like this one stationary figure in the middle while everyone else is more or less blur. The strips of light in the ceiling, they look interesting, and I'm gonna try if I can make them work at least in one picture. I want some people in the middle of that doorway, entrance, exit, whatever. F5.6, 40th of a second. The end result is not that impressive, and I think a wider lens might just do the trick at this location. A wet cobblestone sidewalk always looks awesome, and when I see these two dark figures waiting for the green light, I decide to combine those dark figures and the cobblestone, and I think it works kinda nicely here. Another puddle up ahead, and I simply have to give it a go and see if it turns out better than the previous puddle that was not that bad. F5.6, 40th of a second, and yes, I think this is more interesting than the previous puddle. And one cityscape with a tram. This comes out really nicely, great looking sky, great looking reflections in the foreground. Very pleasing looking picture to my eyes. More good looking reflections, and this definitely is worth a try. I think this is going to work better in vertical format. But I also think I need a person in the picture to make it more interesting, and someone is approaching now. Careful, I have to nail the timing. Yes, I think this is one of the nicest pictures from today's walk. This is one of my standard photo locations. I almost always take some kind of a picture when I pass this square, and today is not going to be an exception. And I like how this turns out. Nothing spectacular, but it works really nicely in black and white. Now look at that reflection in the ground. I simply have to give it a go. Again, I'm gonna select f5.6, 40th of a second, and I really like the vertical lines. I like the drama in this picture. All in all, a nice ending to my photo walk today. I do hope this black and white photo walk was inspirational and enjoyable. If you'd like to support my channel, please do check out my e-zines, get the channel membership, or buy me a cup of coffee if you don't live in Finland. All the links down below, or just subscribe and like. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon in the next one.